Good morning. I've been getting a series of questions on LinkedIn, via email, on YouTube, and in different social media platforms. People want to understand, a number of people are asking me about the issues of privacy today on the internet. Look, these issues are quite complex, and I'm not going to be able to give them the full attention they require. I'm going to give a very brief, short explanation about these issues from a technical point of view at one level, and from a privacy and human rights point of view at another level, and generally, just from a human point of view. I think we all understand that technology has advanced so much. The internet has grown and developed a lot, and it's a place that people almost spend time socially and with friends engaging on issues that are happening in the world. Whether those issues are political, whether those issues are business, whether those issues are about friends, weddings, whether those issues are about family. Now, it's very clear that as people engage, they engage, with different people in different ways. I think we all have seen, the debates about, on social media and on the internet about what has happened in Ukraine, what has happened about the plane of Malaysia, the one that has not yet been seen, or the one, that almost was shot at in Ukraine. These debates have generated quite a lot of interest, on the internet and in social media general, where people directly are able to give their views and opinions. Similarly, we have seen people able to express their views, about what's happening in Gaza. These are very interesting, times in the world, and people are able to use social media platforms and the internet to express their views. I think this is what democracy is all about. This is what, human rights issues are all about. The ability to share and express your views as to what you think about what's happening around you and what's happening in the world. Now, the other aspect that one could look at is what's happening in the technology behind this. What's happening behind the software, behind big data, behind the systems that make people able to express their views. I think that is where the critical issues for me are very important for people to understand. We have seen the debate on, about behavioral issues and Facebook recently. And then these are all issues that confront humanity. I think the critical question is very important for people to sort of take a dive to understand what's happening behind the browser, what's happening behind, tagging and location-based system, what's happening behind, geolocation, what's happening behind geotagging, what's happening behind some of the technologies where we, for instance, use them to express our views and to express our emotions when we see what's happening around us. It is very important for us as users and for us as technical people to understand these issues. I'm not arguing for people to become technical experts, but it's important to understand what's happening. I think as you get into your browser, you start to go into the internet, you need to understand the fact that, as you navigate through different sites, as you navigate through different places on the net, that information about where you are and where you go, one or more people might be aware or know where you are and where you are going and what you are searching for. Now, Is that privacy? The issue is that probably not. I mean, the question is that those who own and control browsers, what do they do with that information? The information about you and me when we get into the internet and start to search for things and start to go into different places and start to engage in various debates that are taking place. The critical question is that, you know, the human privacy when it comes to that type of information as to where you hang out on the internet, where you are, and how you, for instance, express yourself about things. People want to do that, you know, feeling comfortable, the fact that that data cannot be used against them, whether by another individual, whether by the state of whatever country you are, or whatever, basically. So it's very important for us as users to understand exactly what is happening in the area of the internet as you get into the internet yourself. If we talk about privacy issues offline, you know, these things are embedded in different constitutions of countries. I mean, in our country, for instance, privacy and issues of human rights are well articulated by our constitution. The critical question is that, are these rights of individuals applicable, for instance, online? These rights that we talk about offline, you know, in terms of privacy issues and human rights issues, how are these rights applicable online? Are you able to take the issues, for instance, of privacy that you experience online into the South African courts? If, for instance, the people who infringe your rights are not in the same jurisdiction as you are, because the internet is this global platform, how do we deal with these issues? I think what is critical is for us as practitioners on the internet, we need to advise users and we need to advise authorities how to work together to address privacy issues online in the same way as we respect human rights issues offline. Because, I mean, anything that happens to you, I mean, if you look at, you know, how many times people would go to court for human rights issues and get a decision or a court, I mean, to give them, for instance, to affirm their, you know, or their view about a certain issue. These issues are still new online, and some of the issues are not understood at a technical level by the courts, for instance, and by people who argue for privacy, for instance, of people. So we need to find a way on how to educate society, how to deal with issues of privacy online. I mean, issues of children, for instance, are very critical. If your child is going onto the internet, searching different things, you want to be sure that your child data is protected, where she goes and how, for instance, I mean, your child is doing things online. These are very critical issues. So the browser is a very important gateway to the internet. It's a very important, you know, platform that would give whoever is looking at you a deep understanding of who you are and where you go and how you search the internet. At one level, we understand that law enforcement authorities, as and when they have to ensure that they protect the interests of people, they need to have certain tools. But it is not correct to almost accept the fact that there would be this mass surveillance that is done on ordinary citizens and honest people who basically go into the internet, you know, without any malice or wrongdoing, basically. So these issues are very critical. Therefore, platforms to debate privacy issues and human rights issues online are very critical for us, you know, as what one would call, you know, digital immigrants or digital natives. So we need to have a deep understanding of how these things are happening. I'll give you one example. I mean, if you take yourself as a human being, you know, you have a mobile phone, that mobile phone has a GPS device. You have a car that has a GPS and, I mean, device in it. You have, for instance, your credit cards and cards that you use at any time, and as and when you use them, the location and where you are, that data, for instance, can be pulled out. So it is possible today to map out an individual, where you are going, what you do, what you are buying, what you are reading, and what you are doing online. How is human privacy, how can privacy be guaranteed in environments like this? So we need a society to engage each other to address these issues of privacy. I mean, we have seen the recent stories about, you know, behavioral research that is taking place on the internet by some of the big, I mean, global stakeholders or companies that are involved in social media. Here, the critical issue is that, you know, I mean, if you do research on people, at least those people should give consent or give views about the research that you are conducting on them. If you're taking a certain group of people for a sample, for instance, at least those people should give a consent. If a student is going to do research, is going to ask you questions, they send you the questionnaire, they ask you, do you consent on these issues? If you do, you can then respond to the questions that you are being given. I mean, that's how research is conducted. So I really would like to say that there's a lot of work that still needs to be done in this area of privacy, online privacy and the internet. A lot of papers have been published. A lot of work is still being done. And I think as stakeholders, both government, civil society, private sector, academia, the technical community, I mean, parliaments, lawmakers, we all need to be able to look at this issue of privacy online, I mean, in a very, very serious light. In particular, in an environment where jurisdiction does not really, you know, impact in the way in people do things. What I mean by that is that, you know, when you deal with privacy on the internet, you know, because you sometimes the laws of a specific country do not apply, how do you deal with those issues? So I really want to summarize by saying this is an important topic. I mean, I will not be able to be exhaustive in dealing with some of these issues, but it is a topic that requires us to debate and engage. I mean, we talk now about big data. I mean, meaning that big data could be big data about things. I mean, connected things. Also, it can be big data about people, our human data, whether it's biological data, whether it's data about where you are, whether it's data about commercial data, whether it's data about different aspects, what humans are all about. If all that goes into big data and it has to be analyzed for what? For commercial use, analyzed to better the quality of people, or analyzed just to for people to understand human behavior in certain aspects. The issue is that when we do big data analytics in human data, we need to understand what is the objective and whether the names of people exist in that data, and even if whether the names of people do not exist, what are the implications of doing big data, for instance, in data of human beings? Whether, for instance, it's medical data, you are trying to do analytics about a particular chronic condition in a particular area. If you do, for instance, diabetic analysis, and you then do analysis in the way humans buy food or eat or do things, this again is something that will involve people. While the end result might be very good for human beings, but we need to have broader principles in how we deal with big data issues and privacy issues. So in short, I mean, what I would say is that, I mean, I'm using this clip purely to generate debate, not to be conclusive, and to be able to say this is this is a topic that requires us to all meet and debate in one form or the other, where all stakeholders can be able to express their views and be heard on this topic. The technical community, social media community, the legal fraternity, the state, civil society, and ordinary citizens, and other stakeholders who might have an interest in this topic. It is something that we cannot leave and take for granted, and only respond to it as and when there are things that negatively impact humanity in general. Thank you.